Our government is big and wasteful. And I'm a big fan of a smaller government, but even a small government must spend money. They are still in charge of doing certain things, even if they do it correctly, and they are small. They need to, build roads and maintain them, build schools and maintain them, build hospitals and maintain them. They need to supply stuff to their military and police forces. So they need to spend money. Now, our country at this stage, it is a weighted system, this whole procurement thing, and it is a lot of money to go somewhere. Our procurement money every year in this country is around 1.3 trillion rands. And with the weighted system that we have currently, it means there's this beautiful acronym, BEE, you might have heard of it, that says if you are of a certain color, you can get the job because we give you points for that privilege of yours of being black, and then you can get the job. Who wants BEE? The answer might surprise you.
Radio Nuwe Lied. Your Christian lifestyle radio station. Chat with Corné. We scratch where it itches.
Good day, all you beautiful people. Welcome to Chat with Corné. My name is Corné, and it is awesome to be with you today again. We've got this very interesting topic that I want to discuss with you about how our government should spend money, because they need to spend money. It's one of those things about being a government. You're not a business, but you need to spend money on stuff. Just to let you know that it is chat. You are welcome to chat with me. Chat with Corné is not just me doing the chatting, although I have the microphone, but you are more than welcome to make contact and send me your ideas, feedback, whatever. You're welcome to make use of that email address that you see there, or if you are more of a cell phone, WhatsApp, Telegram person, then please use that number there, and you can send me a message. If you came across this video from YouTube itself, then we have a whole platform with a lot of stuff happening on it. It's not just a YouTube channel. So please go to radionuwelied.com, have a look around. Mainly Afrikaans, but also the chat show, Chat with Corné in the English version. So that hopefully I can talk to more people in this beautiful country. So, for today, we spend 1.3 trillion rands a year, and the money needs to procure stuff to use. And at this stage, there's this whole system of BEE, which is a weighted system, which shortly says if you are black, a black-owned company, we give you certain points. And then if you deal with the government, then the guy with the most points basically gets the job. Which means you could have a useless company, fraudulent company, unethical company with bad product, but because of the blackness of the company, you could get the job for more money. You could be the most expensive and most useless and most corrupt, bad product company and charge more, but still get the job. That is the practicality of the system as it is now. Now, if it sounds like a bad idea, it is a bad idea. So, what I want to talk about today is the Institute for Race Relations in our country, IRR. They have put forward a bill that I'm going to discuss with you today on how the government should spend money, because they need to do that. And they asked in a separate poll last year, or in 2023, I think it was, they asked the people of this country, do you think BEE is a good idea or a bad idea? And they asked him in a few different ways. They asked him, do you think it's bad? Would you go for value for money as the biggest criteria for procurement purposes? Because that is what the bill is about, is value for money. Do you think value for money as a first option is a better idea? Do you think BEE is a better idea? Or do you think value for money should be the first option, and then if you need to look at something else for whatever reason, you can look at this stage, the blackness of a company, or putting wrong things of the past right, whatever. There's a lot of different ways that people describe this thing to be politically correct, but in practical purposes or application, the blackness of a company, do you think that should be most important, kind of somewhere in the deal, or not at all? And they asked this for obviously all population groups, and then they also just got a result for only black people, because it is telling in their community, because it benefits them at this stage almost exclusively. So they asked them, and they've got their results as a separate as a separate result. And it is very interesting, because the not so much of a what would you call it? What you would expect from a poll like this is that obviously the white people and all the other people, except the black people, said, no, we think BEE is a bad idea. That is like almost 80%, I think, of the people said, no, we should look at value for money first. Either that, like around 30%, or no, value still first, but if you need to look at something else, it must be the second criteria, not the first criteria. The most interesting statistic for me was that under black people, 70% of them, if you combine the only value for money, if you combine that with the value for money first, but you could also look at BEE then secondly, if you put those two together, 70% still of black people said BEE as the criteria is a bad idea. And I think, well, it changed over time as well. That was now the most recent statistics for that. Previously, it used to be much more. It used to be like about 30, you know. But I think black people got to the point now where they can see in their own lives that the lie of BEE, which is we are here to help you, we are here to fix the wrongs of the past, we are here to do that. And they can see it. I don't care what you call it on paper. It does not work like that in the practical side of our lives. We do not see the benefit of it. The few people at the top see the benefit of that. And that's all. It does not help our people. Our people is never the beneficiary of for the people stuff. So, what is this bill then? Let's look at this bill. I'll also post the link down here so that you can go there in your own time and read through the whole thing, because I'm not going to discuss this whole bill. Basically, it is the value for money bill, and this is interesting to me, as introduced to the people of South Africa. And this is important because they do not try to get the government to change their minds necessarily. I mean, obviously you hope this gets through, but the focus for this is not government. The focus is you, the people of this country, because you need to wake up. You need to start thinking, well, obviously this is not working. What should we do? Okay, well, these people suggest let's look at value for money first. Big idea. It's common sense for most people. If you work with money, look at value for money. Nobody just throws money down a hole. Well, except the government. But no sane person just throws money at a thing without looking at the value for money. So you can look at this and say, well, here's an option, and then you go vote, you go pressure, you go whatever you can do as a person of this country, as a citizen. You are not beneath the government. You are above government. In principle. We are not underlings to a kingdom. We are citizens. We are above government. You should demand from your government. So this bill is there, and as it says, it is to the people of South Africa. So people of South Africa, please take note. Go read this thing. I'm not going to discuss all of it, all the different points on here. I'm going to discuss the kind of the foundation of this thing, which is the value for money argument, and then just a little bit of the practicality of it. So, if you get here to chapter 2, it says here, the procurement principles. So, value for money is the decisive criterion for the award of a contract and must be determined by objective methods that include the life cycle costing, the quality and fitness for purpose, delivery schedule and reliability, the risk, the capacity of the bidder, the integrity of compliance, including tax compliance, absence of fraud, corruption, collusion. So all these things basically say, what we should do is look at value for money. That is the decisive criterion for tenders, for procurement. Which means these things are just like the practical things of it. Value for money is not necessarily the cheapest option. Value for money, say, if you look at these things, if you look at the life cycle of the product, if you look at the quality, is it the correct thing to use, even with all that in mind, what is the best value for money? That is the person and the product that we are going to choose to use for government. Because that is the problem with BEE. It's not just that BEE doesn't benefit the normal people. It is, you could have, like I said, a bad company, corrupt company, a bad product. Let's use a practical example. Say you want to build a school. You could get low quality bricks, low quality everything in that school, and it falls apart in 5 years. And unfortunately, we see this in South Africa. And the reason is, value for money does not mean the cheapest. The problem with BEE is it could be the cheapest and then even more expensive than the good quality stuff. Value for money means, here we look at two things. They are similar quality, the companies look solid, there's no corruption, they both have good backup for their products or their services. Those kind of things you look at, and then you decide which one, maybe it's not the cheapest one, but will be the best spend of my money. I mean, if you think of your personal life, that's what you do, don't you? You don't buy the cheapest car. You go look at, what do I need? Okay, I don't need a Porsche. So if I need, do I need a bakkie? Do I need an SUV? Can I do with a sedan? Do I need a hatchback? What will fit? Well, maybe there's more than one option. So you filter down, but you start, what do I need? And then maybe at the end, similar product, similar quality. Which one is the cheapest of those? Not just the cheapest in general. Of good quality or the similar quality, which one of these are the cheapest? That's how I decide. That's value for money. Not the cheapest, best quality for the price of what you need. And that's how you decide what to take then. So that is the basis for this whole bill on how should a government decide. Oops, that is not what you should see. So then, please go read through all the other stuff for detail. So then the next chapter, the procurement methods and procedures. It says, first point, open competitive tendering is the default method of procurement. None of this nonsense of BEE weighted systems. It does not make sense at all, how the system works. Maybe in a way that it should have worked, and they made provision for that here, which you'll see now. But open competitive tendering should be the default method. There is no other way of doing this. So, an organ of state may not use any points system or similar mechanism that assigns predetermined numerical weights to preferences that are in tension with value for money procurement for the purpose of determining the winning bidder. So it doesn't need to even to be BEE. Maybe it's not about the amount of black people in your company. Maybe it's about social development, which is like the DA's idea of, what we should do. It doesn't matter what it is. It can't be anything else. That's basically what it says. You can't use anything else than value for money. You can't use a point system. It doesn't matter what the point system is, because other people have other ideas, but it boils down to the same thing. Okay, so here they have made provision, though, for, well, there was some wrongs in the past. Let's not repeat them. Let's see if we can fix them, but how do we fix them? So they call it a tie break. If you look at two different companies, say, and they have the same value for money, what do you do then? If two or more bids are objectively determined to offer equal maximum value for money, the accounting authority or accounting officer may apply one or more categories of preference listed in subsection 3 solely to break the tie. Now this makes sense. So you look at two companies, you want to build a school, they've got similar bricks, similar histories, they're both above board, all those nice things. We think these two are equal. They quote it as the same quote. How do we decide which one to use? Now they say, with all that in mind, you are allowed to look at different things. You are allowed to look at employment intensity, at proven delivery, at financial soundness, and as an option as well, transitional black ownership and management. This can't be the thing. This can't even be the second most important thing. But it can be an option. Not just the first one. But there are reasons to look beyond just, value for money. Because it could be a tie. And then just the last point that I want to mention here. What they say about the transparency and how they, publish this data, they say procurement data must be recorded in open digital formats to enable public oversight and value for money analytics. If you think about the fact that we are citizens of this country, we are in principle above the government. Government should handle themselves and their business in such a way that we look at it and say, we agree, you're doing a great job, or no, we do not agree, you are not doing a good job. We should be able to see that. And I don't think that, private people will go look at that, but surely people, journalists, watchdog organizations, whoever, people that's not government, should be able to look at government. Because they are transparent, they publish all the stuff out there that we can see. There's no cloak dagger stuff like what's happening now. And we can go look at it and say, listen, we see here, there was this tender process, you wanted to build a new school, these are the companies, we can see all that stuff. This is the money, yeah, we can see, but we did not realize that Lamborghini was part of building a school system. Who got the Lamborghini? And then you can trace that, and you see, okay, well, how did you get this Lamborghini? We don't like that. Please give back the Lamborghini, give back the money, and go to jail. We should be able to do that. That is a normal system that's working. So that's one of the requirements of this bill is we want to see it out there in the open, transparent, in digital format, so that anybody who wants to can go look at it to verify that what the government says they are doing, that they are doing it, in the way that they say they are doing it, and we agree that is the correct thing to do with it. In short, my good friend, that is the story for today. Just a short message to say that please go look at this bill, follow the link, go look at this thing, and it is for your attention, for your benefit as a citizen, because you need to make the government do stuff, or you need to get the government out to get other people in to do stuff that we all feel comfortable with. So there you are for today. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed week, and until we speak again.
Radio Nuwe Lied. Your Christian lifestyle radio station.